I don't know how long we've been recording, but I can see the passion you've got for acting. Like, yeah, I can see it, I can hear it.
He said, "You could do this for a living." I said, "Nah, I don't do it." She's like, "Yeah, you could be at drama school. Why are you auditioning for drama school?"
Anyway, the fact you can say that you've actually shared a screen, you've acted alongside Michael Sheen, because everyone in school, to be honest, you're not just saying this because you sat here, loved you. But and the famous line, diarrhea.
My God, mate.
I don't know whether you've seen it, but you go on Reddit forums, right? TikTok comments, YouTube comments. Everyone is like, we need to find this guy.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously. They're like, who is this guy? Like, he makes the advert. So anyway, anyone watching, here he is. He's on Fluck Fights channel. This is him.
I'm Diarrhoea Man.
Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel, Fluck Fights. In the chair this week is John Weldon. I've had politicians on here, boxing champions, recording artists, but this is a surreal one for me because, like you, I noticed this guy from the telly, but also he was my teacher in school. So
all those years ago, mate. Wow.
I don't really know what to... how are you, sir, buddy?
Josh, please don't call me sir, mate. That makes me feel so old. Mate, I'm great. It's lovely to be here. Thank you, mate.
No worries, mate. So yeah, John, like everyone, I'd say probably like 80% of people watching this are going to be from St. Kenneth, former students, I'd say probably anyway. The fact you're a teacher and an actor, like, how did that happen? Like, what was first? Was you teaching first or acting, and then like?
I was, Josh. It was a crazy sort of journey, actually, mate. Basically, my mum was a primary school teacher. She had trained at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, and where I trained as an actor, she trained as a musician, as a pianist. So my mum had always played piano and sang in sort of musical groups and stuff like that. And basically she was part of a group that did musicals in Newport, and she asked me if I wanted to come along, me and her brother, my uncle. Yeah. And I think we were both a bit reluctant to do it. Do you know what I mean? Thinking, oh God, I don't want to do that. Do you know what I mean? Well, the lads will take the piss.
Yeah.
But I can remember that like, oh, please, I'll come down, and going down there and realising, my God, there's some lovely young ladies down here. This is great. It's like, oh, this is your dance partner. And thought, oh, great, I'll let the lads take the piss. I'm more than happy. You wouldn't like it, lads. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Lovely women down. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I started doing musicals, Josh. Probably just after I started teaching in St. Kenneth, perhaps 2 or 3 years after I started at St. Kenneth. And I did one at the Dolman Theatre in Newport. And I forget, it was called Finian's Rainbow. And I just fell in love with it. There's also a resident sort of, lots of musicals were done there, and that's where I started doing musicals. And then there's also like a group there called the Newport Playgoers that put on a play a month, I think, for 10 months of the year. I think they have like a couple of months off in the summer. And I ended up doing a play then and loving it. And while I was there, I met an amazing young lady, amazing woman called Sarah Morgan, who at the time was auditioning for drama school. And she was like, John, you should audition for drama school. And I was like 30 at the time, Josh, 30, 31. And I was like, oh, Sarah, I'm too old. They're not going to want someone as old as me. She's like, no, just, they'll actors of all ages, I'm sure. Yeah. Like, just.
How old was she at the time?
So Sarah would have been. So I was about 31. Sarah would have been 21. Yes, 10 years we've seen this. Yeah.
Oh, I can understand why then.
Yeah, so she's been. I think from the time she was 18, that's all she wanted to do. Yeah. She wanted to audition for drama school, and she said, "Come on, we'll both audition. Let's go for it." I got in that year and Sarah got in the following year. So, so basically she sort of inspired me to take a chance, And the great thing was, Josh, like school were brilliant because like school, you remember Mr. Einan, head teacher. I knocked on his door and I said, Mr. Einan, I'd like to audition for drama school. And he said, look, John, go for it. He said, what we'll do, we will, if you get in. I said, look, it's not likely that I'll get in. There's only 10 places on the course, 5 boys, 5 girls, thousands of people audition. it's probably pie in the sky.
Yeah,
I'm probably just like, I'm just probably dreaming and like, you know, it's not going to happen. And he said, look, you go for it. If you get in, we'll give you a sabbatical to go and we'll keep your job open.
That's
and
amazing.
we'll just employ somebody temporarily and we'll keep your teaching. So, Josh, I was so amazing. I could have said, we'll find you audition, mate. Your job's gone.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, school was great. And then I was so lucky as well, Josh, that I had so many people around me, people I loved, you know, who were like, yeah, go for it, mate. So honestly, my dad, you couldn't get a more like down to earth, practical guy. And my dad had an amazing rugby career. He was capped at sort of under 16s, under 18s for Wales. He played rugby for Cardiff, and he said, "Son, look, the world is full of people who said, oh, I could have played for Wales. I could have done this. I could have done that. Don't be some sad old git like in 30 years' time saying I could have been an actor. Go and find out. Go, give it a go. If you know, what's the worst that happens?
Massive respect to your dad for that.
Yeah, massive. And my mum, and obviously my mum being, she had studied there as well. Josh, she was like, oh my God, go for a kid. You know, so all the people that were closest to me, my mum's brother, my uncle, who he said, you know, John, I actually went up to RADA, which is like one of the biggest drama schools in the country, mate. I went to London, and he said, I stood outside and I bottled it. He said, like, you know, I was so nervous. And he said, don't do what I did. You know, go for a kid, you know, go. And so I had so many amazing people, you know, Josh. And like all the staff, you remember, like Mr. Garda Guards, Joe Bev and Bevs, you know, like and Mrs. Rawlins, and because I think they'd all experienced perhaps on school trips my attempts at entertaining them with like accents and jokes and stuff. They were like, oh, you know, you're a born actor, like, you know, just go for it. So I had this amazing safety network around me, Josh, of people that loved and supported me, you know. And there were no dissenting voices, you know. I mean, obviously people were saying, like, you know, there were a few people who said, are you sure about this? You know, teaching is such a secure job, acting's the complete opposite. Are you sure that's what you want to do? But I don't know, Josh, sometimes you got to follow your heart, you know? And I think the biggest thing I said, like Sarah, it was like, God, you know, I love with all my heart. She changed my life. If it wasn't that one person who believed in me, who said, you could do this for a living. I was like, nah, I don't do it. She's like, you could be at drama school. Why are you auditioning for drama school? So having that one person that first sort of planted a seed. Do you know what I mean, Josh?
No, I love stories like that as well, and that's why it's amazing to have you on here as well, because, all right, it's nice to hear stories when people have, all right, they've worked their way up from young kid and everything like that, and you hear that all the time, but for you, like, it's not old, because I'm 33, so it's definitely not old, but for you being, 30, 31, a lot of people would think that's too old. I'm not gonna, like you said, my school job is secure and everything. That, to me, is just as an inspiring story and really good to listen to as well. I didn't even know half of this until we spoke. And now a lot of people listening won't know, because a lot of people just know that, teacher, actor, but they wouldn't have thought much into it. But that is an amazing story, mate, honest. But what happens on audition then to actually get into drama school? What do you actually have to do?
Right, so basically, Josh, I mean, things might have changed ever so slightly, that you usually have to perform 2 audition pieces. And it varies from drama school to drama school. It always used to be, the tradition was that you did one modern piece, what's called a monologue, so just like you speaking essentially. And one used to be a Shakespearean monologue, so you did a speech from Shakespeare and you did a modern speech. You only performed your 2 pieces. Then if they thought you've perhaps got potential to be an actor, you had what's called a recall.
Right.
And perhaps a month, 6 weeks later, they sort of shortlisted who they might consider. And for that audition, we had to do a movement class. It wasn't quite dance, but you had the music teacher, Jen Trays, who choreographed a little bit of movement for us, and we all had to dance. We were in groups of 4 or 5, as I remember, and he would choreograph something, and then each wave, each group would come down, they'd do it. The next group came down, they would do it, etc., etc. And I remember crazily that they said afterwards, when being another guy, amazing actor, Ben Davidson, when we actually finally got into Watch Call, he said, you know what that dance audition was about? He said, it wasn't about to see how good you would dance. We were watching who are the people that helped everybody in their group? And who are the
Right.
people who were like, I want to be the best person in this group of 5.
Yeah, I was going to say, because dancing and acting.
Yeah, it was, cause I love getting me. So I told my performing arts this story for those kids who audition, that in our group of 5, there was me, this guy, Ben Davies and Davo, became really good mates at drama school. Another couple, and this girl who was clearly a dancer, mate. You know, she was like head to toe in pineapple. And like she was, whatever was choreographed, she could do it. The rest of us were like struggling. So at the end of like, we just learned a little section of the dance. Me and Davo and the other 2 people were like, oh, was it like, it was like, how was it left foot then? And I was like, we turned to this girl, was it right foot? And she was like, I was like, because they actually said to us afterwards, that girl, she was far and away the best dancer in the room.
Yeah.
But the fact that she wouldn't help anybody straight away, she was the first name to be scrubbed off. Yeah. So, so there was a dance audition, first dance in inverted commas, mate, movement audition. Then we did our pieces again, our monologues, and we were directed. So whereas in the first audition, they just let you go. The second time round, they would say, oh, that's nice, Josh, but have you thought about doing it like this? Or I'd like to see you do it this way, just to see how well you deal with direction, how well you adapt. That's exactly it, mate. Or whether you're like so stuck in your ways, oh no, I can only do it this way.
Yeah.
Or how ready are you to embrace new ideas?
Yeah.
You know, they might ask you to do something completely crazy, like, oh, what I want you to do now, Josh, is actually do your piece while you're actually running a marathon. Pretend you're running a marathon. And you might think, why would I do that? My character in this scene is not running a marathon. But as if you're probably, no problem, let's do that. Yeah. Or like, oh, okay, Josh, how about this time we do it in a Scottish accent? And
you have no chance, John.
I can't do a Scottish accent, but do you know what I mean? It was that. So often, Josh, it was just to see how well can you deal with whatever challenges we throw. You might think, well, I love what you're doing, but let's see how well you cope with the challenge. So that was a basic format, Josh. You did this movement class, then you did a redirect, and then there was like a mini interview with like the head of acting at the time, a guy called Dave Bond, amazing guy, was asking you about, you know, why you wanted to be an actor, why Royal College of Music and Drama. And again, I think what they wanted to see there was that this is something you really wanted to do. You know, so like, oh, I might want to be an actor, but I might want to be a vet, you know, but I quite made my mind. It was like, we're going to offer you a place with all these people auditioning, all this competition for work, all these people who are desperate to be a professional actor. We want to see that this is what you want to do. Yeah. That, you know, we're not wasting a place by offering you a place and you're going to be half-assed about it. You're not sure whether you really want it. They want to know that you want it. Yeah. And I think that's a bigger part, as much as perhaps your ability as an actor, just who you are as a person, Josh, and how much you're prepared to want it. Because it's a tough job, it's a tough gig. You know, it's a lot of rejection. I guess you've got to have a certain sort of thick skin, and you've got to be prepared to take the rough with the smooth. And I guess they must smell it on someone, and they must be able to like listen to someone and know, this person wants to act. Yeah. Or this person, I don't think they last three minutes.
You can see it sometimes when someone's really passionate about something. Yeah. You can almost see like a sparkle in their eyes.
Yeah, I think that's so true, mate. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I think,
I think so. You see that hunger or just how much they love it. Yeah. That's how much they're in love with. I was probably saying with anything that gets shot, you know, I'd go and watch them under 10s football in the park, and you might be seeing some kids who you can see, they just love doing this. They might not be the best footballer, but they love it. Yeah. And I don't know, might be a plasterer comes around and they just love plastering. Yeah. And you think, so cliche, Josh, you know, do a job you love and you never work a day in your life.
Yeah, well, you mentioned football then, and I'm pretty sure at Abertrin or Aber Valley, inside the change room, they've got a quote that says, hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard, which is, it epitomises what we're talking about now, doesn't it?
Absolutely, Josh, in a nutshell. And that's what they're looking for. They want someone that loves it, that wants it, that believes in what they want to do. And I think if you can get a hint that perhaps that's not what you're about, then I think they wouldn't offer you a place. So Yeah, I guess by hook or by crook.
Yeah.
they saw that sparkle that you talked about in my eye, I guess, mate.
But when we're talking about, obviously, as a talent as well, but when you were in drama school, obviously you had to learn these techniques. Yeah. And I always think with acting, it's funny because, like, say, obviously, you're a professional actor, I'm not. So I could try and act shocked, or I could try and act upset. I could pretend to cry even. But if I did it wouldn't look the same, nowhere near. Right. So what do you learn, or what's the talent that sort of sets you apart? That is there something? It's just little things like how does your version of what I just said look so much more realistic?
Wow, God, Josh, that's such an amazing question. I think first of all, the great thing that drama school teaches you, and it's that acting's about the truth. It's about being truthful. However, you can access that. So you spoke about if you need to be upset. I guess sometimes it can be finding triggers. It can be finding, what makes me upset.
So that is true, because the other things they are. So actors do that. So basically, so when they need to be upset, they actually do sort of think of
find a place. I did. It's not something that you in a scene you might necessarily search for, in the sense that because as human beings, Josh, we very rarely. If I was upset now, I wouldn't want to show it to you. Do you know what I mean, Josh? It's, as human beings, we very rarely go around emoting everywhere. It probably takes people that we really trust and love implicitly to actually be that vulnerable in front of, so my friend's dad passed away. And I'm sure if he was sat here now, the last thing he'd want to do would be upset. So very often what we try to do is suppress what we feel. Sorry, Josh, I'm going to run out. How to explain this, but very rarely as actors we look to play an emotion. It just might come out of the situation, this imaginary situation that we find ourselves in, these imaginary circumstances that we find ourselves. Me and you were talking, and perhaps in the scene you're talking about how someone that you was very dear to you, that you'd lost them, and perhaps my character recently lost his mum, and just through our conversation, I'm reminded about how I've lost my mum, and it might not mean that I'll cry, but I'm running that tape in my head. I'm reliving how that feels, and Josh, very often we have real life experiences that we draw on. Like for example, I've lost my mum. I've lost my mum. I can be in that place. If it's not somewhere I want to go because it's traumatic, but where I can think about how I've lost my mum, and so that was a really that's still an emotional time for me. You never get over that. So you can access those emotions that are already within you, and then that other amazing tool that we have as human beings is our imagination. Josh, we can create those scenarios. You can imagine that in our head, and that's where the work lies, I guess, for us as actors to be busy psychologically and. I can tell you a story, Josh, that I can remember recently I was playing a character, this really angry character, this sort of character that was always like, you get some people, Josh, they're always like a powder keg. They can kick off at any moment, and mate, couldn't be more different than who I am as you know. I was a chilled out, laid back person. So like, I've got an actual an emotion memory, we call it, a memory that happened in my life when my mum was ill. I never forget, there was a moment where I was walking here down to get a paper from a paper shop in Bedworth, and some scally kid on a bike, probably only about 13, 14 or 15, bunked off school, and he came flying past on a bike, and he didn't hit my mum, nearly knocked it. She was ill at the time, Josh. I was so incensed. I was thinking, I feel ashamed to say it. You're a grown man, but I was thinking, if I caught that kid, I would have kicked him off his bike. He was like some 13-year-old kid, and I'm a grown man. And I was so incensed that he could have hurt. And I shouted after him, and he sort of gave me the finger. I can remember it's how manic I was, walking around thinking, I'm going to go looking for that kid. I'm not going to hit him, but I'm just going to explain to him. So I had all this anger that's still there. And then I thought, I don't really want to relive that trauma. Even though in a sense I just did that by starting but I just instead I create this imaginary scenario where my godson Joseph, he plays football for for Abercarn. At the time, he was probably like for the under sixes or something. And I just imagined a scenario where some dad is on the side as Joseph's playing football, and he's getting his son, who's playing against my godson, to like kick everyone in the air. And he's like, oh, kick him. And I said, oh, mate, come on, the kids, like, you know, it's a bad scenario, the kids, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he tells me to fuck off or something. And then this his son, like, kicks my godson. And I remember just thinking about it now, like in rage. I imagined it in my head that I picked up a football and this dad goes, yeah, that's the arm, I get stuck into him. And I get a ball and I just booted in his face and I stood over him.
This is in his imagination now. Just to make doubly sure.
Abercarn under sixes game. Yeah, it never happened. But do you know what I mean, Josh? So I invented this scenario, but lived it in my head. You know, like ran the tape in my head, and that was a way to get me to that place.
Yeah.
Even though, again, as an actor, you never look to play an emotion. You're not like, I'm going to be angry. I'm going to be upset.
They'd be the bad ones.
That's you.
Yeah.
It's, I'm going to play an intention. I'm going to play, this is what I want.
Yeah.
This is my mission. This is what I'm trying to achieve. This is, in my in a scene with Josh, this is what I want. I want him to try and give me that coke by the end of it. Do you know what I mean? Whatever it might be. I might want him to write a favourable reference for me. Whatever that. There's something I want. There's something I'm trying to achieve, and that's what I'm aiming for. In the pursuit of that goal, in the pursuit of that intention, I might get angry with you. I might be like, "What's he writing there? I might get frustrated because I'm not getting out of you what I want. Right. I might be manipulative. I might be cunning. There might be a myriad of different emotions that come out of that. This is my mission. This is what I want. This is what I'm trying to achieve. This is how I'm trying to affect the other person in the scene. As opposed to, I want Josh to write this reference, and I know that he's going to write a rep. So I'm going to walk into this scene being angry. All you get then in the scene is me being angry. None of the subtlety or the nuance that we talked about. You know, I might be angry, but I might be manipulative. I might be forceful. I might be demanding. Who knows where it goes? And after that, it's very much about listening and responding. Does that make sense?
No,
Josh?
it does. Yeah, it's actually interesting as well because I didn't realise all the, like you said, the imagination and the creativity that goes into it. Well, when you said earlier about auditioning for drama school, and they said the last stage was they were really seeing, you know, if you wanted it, and I don't know how long we've been recording, but I can see the passion you've got for acting, like. Yeah, I can see it. I can hear it. Yeah, I can see how you passed that audition already.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, you can.
I love it.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see though. Like someone who's just that obsessed, passionate with their craft. I love it. Come away from acting just for a second there, and I'm going to talk about your teaching because it still all ties in. Because so I remember, obviously. You taught me French. I think you taught me French in like 2004, which is mad because it makes me feel old, makes you feel even older.
Josh,
like my first year in St. Kenneth, but anyway, obviously you went away and I remember then, so do you remember when the teachers used to put on a play for all of the kids at Christmas time? And they said, they go, oh, we've got this Hollywood star coming in the middle of this play now. I can't remember the teacher that introduced you. And then they said, oh, here comes this Hollywood star. And honestly, right, they could have brought Robert De Niro out, but they brought you out and you had a bigger cheer than De Niro would have. Because everyone in school, to be honest, you're not just saying this because you sat here, loved you. Like all the kids. And you get certain teachers, and sometimes you could say they're too nice, and also sometimes they'll smell a weakness on them or whatever. You know what kids are like. But with you, it was like, because you were actually so well, like no one would want to really misbehave for you because you didn't want to disappoint you. Like you didn't. That's how the kids felt, you know. But that's all right. But I think what it is you'd see you in school and wherever you were, you know, walking down the corridor or in class, and you always looked like you were just loving life. Like you looked like you were loving your job, and that's what made everyone love you, I think. So that's what I really wanted to ask you is why do you love teaching so much? Because funny enough, right, I've got a couple of friends who, one is a teacher, has been a teacher, one left because he just didn't like it, couldn't handle it. Another one, I don't think he's that happy. Yeah. But like I said, you were just high on life every time. Every day I saw you in school.
Josh, yeah, I just loved it. I love teaching. I still do. But God, yeah. I think, do you know what, Josh, and this might sound like crazy bullshit, but I never forget when I was doing my teacher training. I was doing teacher training in Reading. Amazing teacher, a guy called Crawford Anderson, Irish guy. And he said, remember, John, he said, like, there might be one thing that you do in a classroom that like to spark in a kid and change that kid's life. And I knew he was right, because it happened to me. I walked into a classroom in Bedwas High in year 7, and like I walked into the French classroom, and the teacher, Mr. Price, he had like, Josh, he had posters of like all the French like rugby players, and I remember Jean-Baptiste Lafont, who played for Racing Club de Paris, like in his like Racing Club de Paris like rugby kit. And then there was like he's do that thing I remember I did myself, actually. Like I got packets of like cereal from France, so like staple it to the wall. But I felt, oh my God, it was like, there's this country called France, and it was like, oh my God, I love the sound of it. Like he lit a spark in me. And those words that Crawford Anderson said to me, remember, just one thing you do could change your kid's life. I carry that, I still carry that with me. Because you just think, God, yeah, it's such a blessing. It's such a privilege what we do that I had an amazing life, Josh, because Gilwyn Price and Mr. Price in Bedwas Comp brought this country this lesson to life to such an extent that I ended up living in France. I ended up living there. I ended up like speaking French, going to university in France. It changed my life, And I just think, God, yeah, in the same way that Sarah did by going, you can go to drama school, I believe in you. And I just think that's something we've got to hold on to, because all of us as teachers have been on a journey that's taken us to what we do, and to recognise that we really can make a difference. It's like a huge responsibility, Josh, but it's like, it's one that you carry with huge grace. I feel even more now. I've got 2 god kids who I love with all my heart, and it's conscious that like stuff we do as adults or as role models in their lives are so important, Josh. And so I think that I believe passionately in what I do. That was a massive part. But just in Canada as well, particularly then, mate, as a young guy, we were really young staff. Just arrived, guards, Bevs, this amazing
Mr.
group
Cork.
of people. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Gardner and Mr. Gardner and Mr. Cork, they follow this channel. Yeah, they've been watching it for years.
Still great mates, but we really are. And just like, we all grew up. We were young as well. Just we were like about 22 when we started this again. Like all young guys. And I literally, I'd jump out of bed, couldn't wait to get to school. I literally couldn't wait, because it was always such great fun. I think it was such a great relationship between like pupils and between students and staff. It was a lot of banter. It was a lot of fun, but it was also like, I think it's brilliant sort of respect, this sort of mentality that I think, I don't know whether it exists in other sort of valley school. I don't know whether it's just like a valley school thing, mate, where like, you could have banter with the kids, and you could have banter with us, and it was like a line, and we couldn't. Of course, I mean, like, I'm sure the line was in a different place when you were there. Like now, I think some of the mum gags we used to do, I think, God.
Some of the stuff this guy said about my mother was but
God, yeah.
I remember you falling on the red ground. Oh, mate, Josh, you might not remember. I remember you falling on the red ground, mate. And again, even that, it looked like nothing could keep you down. You were just laughing about it. We were playing football, because you used to like sort of cover PE and stuff as well.
Yeah, mates, and rugby and football at school and stuff. And God, yeah. And
we'd play. Sixth form would play with the teachers. I remember you playing a couple of games with that.
Yeah, I loved that.
So you like your football then, do you?
Yeah, I really, really do. Yeah, oh God, loved all that. Again, that was always great stuff. Mate. So that sort of interaction with like
sixth form and teachers playing football is really good. I don't think you get that many other schools.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a thing. I think St. Kenneth was unique in that sense. But I think it was such a great camaraderie, wasn't it? So great great for, and all the trips we went on, you know, like our guards, all the skiing trips, did all the trips through to France, and my God, just had such great.
Yeah.
It was great for. I think perhaps like education has changed a bit. Josh it's far more like people are on top of like, you know, senior management and like it's less. I think we have less freedoms. Like now, it's much more emphasis. Like almost like schools are a bit more like exam factories now, Josh. And there's such pressure to have like the percent, like sort of merit tables and who's getting the best grades. And there's a lot of pressure in that sense, and which are completely understandable. I mean, end of the day, we're not there for all to have a good laugh, I suppose it is to get good results. But somehow for me, Josh, I felt that they went hand in hand, that you had a really happy staff, pupils, you know, great relationships, great fun, where I think the students felt happy and secure, and the staff had great relationships, that somehow that filtered through to really good results, you know? I really do. So, mate, it was great on there. I loved it. It's such a... God, I love teaching.
Well, a small example there is I still remember how you say sit down in French is asseyez-vous. Because you said you pointed as assez. I don't know why you like it's nothing wrong with doing that, but even nowadays do you still do that? Or?
Do you know, I didn't even thought that. Josh can get away with that.
You might not
sit in your ass, like so it makes sense. I mean, I was running with guards, like literally the only French guards knew, apart from bonjour and une bière, s'il vous plaît.
He's like that boy, isn't he?
Where the singe, which literally means where is the monkey? So, you know, guards would like great respect, and we always do it same kind of. Teacher walked into your room.
Stand up.
I thought that was great, mate, you know, and guards would say merci, où est le singe? And everybody would sit down, like, because you knew what the French for sit down was. But guards, merci, où est le singe?
Is he still there now?
He's actually he's head of sport at Cardiff Met. I love it because I basically he teaches rugby, and he teaches teachers who go on to be sports teachers, but runs the rugby teams there. And
seen him on Twitter, Silver Fox now.
Yeah. Oh my God, amazing guy, and I love him to bits. Yeah, they were great times, Josh. I mean, God, it feels like, as you say,
it's a long time ago now.
20 years, you know. 20 years.
I was there from 2004. I did go to sixth form as well. I don't know why I didn't do much with it, but 2000. So it's till 2011. Then I would have been there. Yeah. So you were sort of in and out, obviously, with everything you were doing. Which is quite mad, because obviously when I was there, it was right at the start of your career in acting.
Absolutely, mate. It would have been absolutely. But love St. Kenneth, and so many happy memories, mate. And you know, funny enough, Josh, we've got like a WhatsApp group that Miss Glynis Davis
Welsh,
the Glynis friends. It's got like the Golden Oldies, and we meet up, you know, and because a lot of the staff that you remember have retired or moved on. Like the vast majority of probably
I can imagine
moved on or retired, you know, mate. But we're all in touch, and we were like, keep Lewis, keep you cool, and my God, Mrs. Burton, all the Welsh department. Is
Mrs. Hood still there now?
I'm still, yeah. If
Mrs. Hood is watching, I owe her an apology, because I took media in sixth form, and I basically took it because my friends did, you know, very immature, and I never thought I would do anything with media, and all of the lessons I had in editing and everything like that. And yet, you know, basically I didn't drop out of sixth form, but I certainly didn't turn up to the class. I remember we did a exam on The Dark Knight, which was a brilliant film. Yeah, amazing. Come on, you know, like we were on about method acting.
Yeah.
I turned up to the exam. I never watched The Dark Knight. I thought it was about like a knight on a horse, mate. So apologies to Mrs. Hood, because now look at this. Now I know how to edit and media. Everything I do now is media and art, and so
Josh should be proud as punch, Lynette. Proud as punch. Look at that. One of my ex-students is doing right now.
Yeah.
His own podcast. It's amazing. As everyone, again, I think that's a lovely quality about St. Kenneth. We all shared in each other's success, mate, wasn't it? It was like, oh my God, I just love the fact that our students are doing this, that our students are doing that one of our students got his own podcast.
Yeah,
It's
and I turned up to the media exam without even watching The Dark Knight. Sorry to interrupt this video. You know what I'm going to ask you. If you could subscribe. So I am almost there. So if you just look, I don't know, roundabout by I'll put a graphic up. I'm nearly at 1,000, then I can get monetization from YouTube. Another graphic there is showing that most people who watch aren't actually subscribed. Believe it or not, it is free. If you enjoy my videos and you don't want to miss any more further ones and you want to support me, just click that subscribe button. Cheers. Let's get back into this video. So yeah, back to acting, because when you talked about Steve Spears and that, I didn't say so much then because I've got him wrote down here to talk about now.
Amazing guy. Amazing.
So other actors you've worked with though, Dan Stevens.
Yeah.
He played Beast in Beauty and the Beast and loads of other films he's been on. Yeah. Michael Sheen.
Yeah, Michael Sheen.
We've done heaps for Jesus, you know.
Yeah, what a lovely man. What an amazing man. Amazing human being, man. And so generous. So, do you know, Josh, that's again, crazy, wonderful thing is that, like, I don't know what it is, and I'm sure there are actors out there who are, but I'm the big guy. I'm sure there must be.
Of course,
but in my 20-year career, everybody just treats you like another actor. You know, it's like we're in a scene together, and like Michael Sheen's like that, mate. You know, Michael Sheen. I think you're Michael Sheen, but he's like, oh, hey Josh, right, mate. Is that okay?
I was going to ask you about that. I was going to say, well, is Michael Sheen as nice as he seems? You know,
totally, mate. Really professional, really generous. I remember we turned up for actually had a rehearsal with him, which is rare for when you're making a movie. We did that movie called Apostle, and my agent phoned me up and saying, "Hi, sweetheart, yeah, we've actually got a couple of rehearsal days." I was like, "Oh, okay." With Michael's going to be and Dan, and I was just like, during the rehearsal, mate, he was completely off book. He knew all his lines, and like, you know, and him asking, "Is that working for you, Johnny? Is that okay?"
Yeah.
Like,
whatever you say, man.
Do you know what I mean? That and that's what I found again. Why I got crazily. I have to remind myself that I am one, but I've got so much admiration for actors. Josh, they're just great people. So Michael Sheen, an amazing actor. Everyone I've worked with, it's just been an absolute delight.
If you don't do anything else with your career anyway, the fact that you can say that you've actually shared a screen, you've acted alongside Michael Sheen already there, isn't it?
God, yeah.
And that scene that I'm talking about, I don't know if people haven't seen Apostle, when they slit your throat. That is intense.
Yes.
How do you learn that in drama school? The old...
it's really, Josh, it's really old technology.
It's really...
What they do, first apparently did that in the Godfather movies, but basically what they do, you've got like a tube, like you might... like a tube you might use to pump up water to like spray your garden, sort of thing, a portable sort of tube. So you've got a tube that's filled with like fake blood, and that tube goes to obviously to someone off frame, outside of the frame, and then it connects to the back there, and you've just got like they've got these two slits of like silicone, and so as soon as you lift your head, there's a split appears, so like a fake piece there on your neck, and then as you do that, you're exposing like a little bit of a hole, and then they put a bunch of
someone off cameras,
literally someone up. It's sort of like literally just at a shot is pumping it for the blood. It's like really like you think it might be like CGI or something, but it's a really old technology, I guess. Maybe they had in the 70s
but you still got to act it though. Like, to be fair, because obviously I've seen you on loads of comedies, so that was something different.
Yeah, it would have been something different.
That was intense. It was good.
Yeah, crazy movie, mate, isn't it? Really bonkers. Yeah,
because I watched it when it first came out, and then because I was doing this podcast, I was like, I'm going to watch it again. Nice. And you said about Mark Lewis-Jones, he's scary in it. He's frightening in it.
Brilliant, mate. You can do anything.
I don't know. I didn't realise how good he was until I watched that.
So bonkers film, that, mate, isn't it? My God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love shooting that. That was great fun.
And then, Steve Spears. So
love him, mate.
Yeah, mate. Like when you were on about him earlier, everything, I just agree. And he's easily one of my favourite actors. I'll just watch anything with him in it. I've watched like a YouTube skit of him, like being a butcher. Have you seen that?
Yeah, he wrote that himself.
It's amazing. What it is, there's certain actors, right, like him, and it's almost like they don't have to do a lot.
Yeah.
And it'll just be like, he just makes me laugh looking at him.
He's got funny bits.
But he'll just do like the slightest little thing, like Ricky Gervais, David Brent, I love that kind of acting, and I find he's like that, and he's like that in Attackers as well, and he just,
do you know, Josh, and he's just a lovely human being. He's like one big hug of a man. He's just so loving, such an, you know, I owe so much to Steve in my career. He's someone that has banged the drum for me. As a young actor, you know, I turned up to audition for him in London for Caught in the Act, and at that point I just done Skins. So I had done some TV. I'd done Skins, and I rocked up, and you know, I think some names had auditioned for this movie, and God, I can remember it like yesterday. Auditioning in a room above a pub on Rupert Street in Soho. Oh God, yeah, I remember it like yesterday. So usually when you audition, Josh, you're given an appointed time. You do your audition, and they're kicking you out the room because like the next person comes for audition, and it's quite a sort of like, it can be quite cold, as it, you know, you're friendly when you get there, like, hi, nice to meet you, Josh.
Like a number kind of thing.
Yeah, it can be a little bit like that, but you know, they've got loads of people to get through, and like it's, and I can remember rocking up and at audition, I read with Steve. I read because Steve was starring in it, and he'd also written it as well, written the script, and it was just, I think instinctively we had this bounce, do you know what I mean? And again, he's such a generous actor, he's so giving and so positive, and he's like, oh, I can remember we run the scene for the first time, and he's like, oh, nice one, Johnny, I like that. And so this was, like, as you always do, you know, you thank everybody for their time, for taking the time to see me, and then he's like, yeah, thanks, yeah, we'll be in touch, you know, or not, you know, something like that. And as I'm walking about as I'm walking out the door, Steve said to me, Johnny, are you live in Wales, don't you? I said, yeah, I'm sort of in Bedfordshire, so I said, yeah, no, Bedfordshire. Are you going back today, or are you staying up? And I said, oh, yeah, I'm going back, but later on, you know, Steve, I've got like a later train because it's cheaper, you know. Yeah. He said, listen, we're all going to the pub at 5. You know, there's a pub right below us, right? We're all going to be in the White Hart, right? 5 o'clock. Meet us for a pint. I said, oh, yeah. So,
I want a pint for Steve Spears. Like.
My dad was going to come and pick me up from the train station. And he said, "Hi, son, what time are you getting in?" I said, "I'll come and pick you up." I said, "Oh, Dad, it's nuts." He said, like, they've actually invited me out for a drink. They never do that. They're just kicking out the door. He said, "Well, you better go in, son, haven't you? Your hand in your pocket, you tight little." So I can remember going to the pub, and there was like the director, and there was casting director, and it was Steve, and like there's a couple of big producers there, and Steve said, "Hey," he said, "Look, I know you're an actor, and this is all new." He said, "I really like what you did today, and I'm going to bang the drum for you. I'm going to go. I'm going to be in your corner, and because I think of everybody that we've seen today, I think you're the best man for the job." And he said, "I don't mind telling you, we've seen some people who've got a bigger profile than you, and there's probably going to be pressure to cast them because they're a name. But I'm going to do my best." And I thought, that's really kind. He's probably said that, but at the end of the day, it's going to be...
He's had a few, right?
Yeah, and he's probably just being kind, and that's just that alone is such a lovely thing. Yeah. But inevitably, they're probably going to get someone who's got a bigger profile than me, because that's what puts bums on seats, you know, by a name. And he was true to his word, mate. He was. He went in there. And he said, I don't care. I really like this lad. Yeah. I want him for the role. He said, when I wrote the part, he's walked in, and it's how I saw it. Yeah. How I saw the role. And he said, that's why I want him. And what is it about? Like, he saw, I was playing the role of like a sad loser. So clearly he makes up with sad loser energy. So like we talked about, that was my uniqueness. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And ever since, mate, whenever he's thought, Josh, that that's something Johnny could do. If he hasn't, I don't want to say he's written with me in mind, but he's like, he's giving me a heads up and say, hey, Johnny, I'd love to see you audition for this. I think that could, and I think he's been such a supporter of me as an actor. I think, you're Steve Spears.
You don't have to do that, is he?
Yeah, you're Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars. Like, you've done it all. You've like got a T-shirt. You're just amazing. And Josh has been such an amazing supporter, you know. And every time I work, it's just an absolute joy. We're really good mates as well, you know. It's sort of, he's just amazing to be around because he's such a natural funny guy. That's who he is. Like, he's just got funny bones, and he's such an awesome human being. He's great.
But like, because he's so funny, and I can imagine this now because I'm gonna bore people. I say this all the time that before on this channel we used to do like fight parody comedy videos. So it was me and my mate Dan, and it was like acting involved really, because basically my character then was basically that I'm this deluded, think I can beat everyone up, beat Dan and Joshua up, and Dan is almost just as deluded because he's so stupid to think that what I'm saying is true, and he's taking lessons from me. He's basically getting beat up from me. It was like that kind of dynamic. And so I'd be like this. I'd be writing out like what we're going to do and stuff. And that's where half of the followers have come from, is from the old videos. So I'd be writing out these little, it's almost like comedy skits that we do. And then when he'd come over, and again, because he's so funny and because he's my mate, so like Steve is your mate, right? I just couldn't get through things. Like, I'd be laughing all the time. Like, are you too professional, or are you? Because when Steve speaks, he must be laughing.
This times he's a proper king. We call it corpsing, Josh. When like you're in the middle of a scene and you can't keep your shit together, basically. And he's a proper giggler, Steve.
He is as well.
And I was doing the tech, and he blamed me. I can't remember what I did. I think it was a scene where at Di Up and Down's funeral. I'd wait. We were upstairs in the ex-serviceman's club in Abertrillo, and I think Big Al, Steve's character, was Big Al. Stella. Glenn Tucker is like addressing everybody, and I can't remember what he did, but he started to giggle, and he was like, it's fucking Johnny it is. I was like,
that makes it more funny.
It's like, so I'm trying not to look at him now. He's like, Johnny. And I was just like, the director's like, Johnny, come on, mate. And I was like,
it probably was you though, just because again, he just something in his mind, he couldn't help laughing at you that day. I think that's how it.
I think that's it.
Yeah,
it's exactly.
I used to get it all the time. I just because
he's brilliant, Josh. I really love that. I mean, there's the brilliant outtake where he did Afterlife with he was like the dog turd man and
dog shit man.
Dog shit. I can tell you how many hundreds of times I've seen that now, but it just cracks me every time. And I can just imagine that's like being with Steve on a daily basis. It's just things will crack him up, and he's a great connoisseur of comedy and natural comedian, and I think he just loves funny people as well. It's something
he just gets it.
I think he's a great student of comedy, but also just a natural comedian as well. That makes sense.
That scene and the outtakes, he's going, right, what's your angle then, boys? Ricky Gervais just cannot keep it together. That's another one I could never be on screen with, because he directs his own stuff as well, obviously, Ricky Gervais. And sometimes he's not even on screen, and there's people acting, and he's the one laughing and ruining it. And then again, he's like, right, come on now.
Amazing. Just fantastic. Incredible human beings as well as brilliant consummate actors. So I think, Josh, to be like people to say someone's a comedy actor, I think sometimes that it's almost like it's underestimated or underplayed a little bit. Just what a craft it is to like, it's not like, I'm just a funny guy. There's having funny bones, but it's a real art form, And I think, my God, sometimes comedies are the hardest things to do, to make people laugh. It's one of the hardest things that you can do. And I think you've got to be such a great actor in order to be a comedy actor like Steve Spears. Do you know? Sometimes he's funny. And it's like, there's a whole lot more to it than
no, he's a genius. He's a genius.
He's absolutely.
Like I said, I'd put him in the same category acting style, like I said, of Ricky Gervais, like I said, where it's just little subtle things, like that's what makes me laugh. See, that's just I just love it. That's my type of comedy, you know.
Oh, that's brilliant. I will tell you, mate. I shall see him on Monday, and I'll tell you just that.
Yeah. I admit I've seen everything with him on, I think, and my girlfriend as well. She's the same. We're both massive fans. The amount of times we've rewatched You're in the Scene on the Tuckers when you get stuck in a window, because it's just so wacky, so funny. You get stuck in it again, and then he keeps saying all the time, because he's so dramatic on there, and he has characters. He keeps saying all the time, "Oh, you know, I was stuck in a window. I thought I was going to die. If I was going to die in a window, blah blah." And he says to you, Melvin, he says, "God, I thought I was going to die," and you said, "Die where?" And he said, "In the window." The first time I see that, I was gone. I was gone.
Oh God! Oh, we had such fun on that, Josh. Yeah, had such fun. Yeah.
Well, I've got to ask you now, because loads of people have asked me to ask you about the advert. Pepto Bismol. Am I saying that right?
That's exactly right. Pepto Bismol. Yeah.
And the famous line, diarrhea.
My God, mate.
I don't know whether you've seen it, but you go on Reddit forums, right? TikTok comments, YouTube comments. Everyone is like, we need to find this guy.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously. They're like, you know, who is this guy? Like, he makes the advert. So anyway, anyone watching, here he is. He's on Fluck Fights channel. This is him.
I'm Diarrhoea Man.
Yeah. But no.
I'll get the national, but hey, Diarrhoea Man will do.
Yeah. Do you actually get people like stopping you in the street and that saying?
I haven't checked the diarrhea at you, mate. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. It's it's crazy, isn't it, Josh? It's like that advert.
As people know it off by heart. I know it off by heart. The song.
It's crazy.
You've got GIFs.
Yeah.
There's a GIF of you singing it.
I mean, it's just like I remember like. I was a student, used to read a magazine called, like a comic, I guess, called Viz, that I didn't even realise was still going. And like, it has a page on there about, you know, like people are supposed to have written letters in. And it got a mention in that. And I thought, oh my God, if you told like 19-year-old me that, I would have been in Viz. Like, do you know what I mean? It's a comic I used to like read when I was in uni. Yeah, it's mad.
It's so successful. I don't know how much you're paying you, but I reckon you've drove them on plenty more sales. You must have. Jesus.
I wonder if it's that love-hate thing, mate. But there's people go, this advert, and because it is like an earworm, isn't it? It's one of those things that like, my God, my godson, when it first came out, it's like, it's nearly 2 years. We shot that in the winter of 2024, Josh, in Scotland. It came out in February of 2025 it came out. So it's gone for over a year. And I can remember first going to pick up my godson from primary school. And like, of course, because when you're that age, when you ask, well, you really like 7 or 8 at the time, they're like, poo, anything to do with shit. It's just like comedy gold, mate. It is literally comedy. So like, all his friends are like, Joe said, it's your Uncle John. He's a diarrhea man. And he just thought it was like the coolest thing. Oh, you're the diarrhea man. Like, singing at me. And it's not like, there's a group of kids, Abercarn Juniors, who think I'm their hero because I sing about shit. It's just mad how it's...
I guess that's what I want to ask. You know, I was wondering how to ask it. It sounds a bit cheeky, but...
That's really just...
It's so successful. Are you sort of like... almost a bit like, I don't want people to know me for being the diarrhea man rather than my actual acting, or are you just at that stage now?
Do you know, Josh, always have been like, and then I think any actor will tell you, we're John actors. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, trained to act anything. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm only going to play Shakespeare. It's like, my God, you know, that's our job.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean. That's the way I would have looked at it, because also I'd look at it as you literally, obviously you sang the song, but the one lyric especially, diarrhea, you delivered it so well that's why it's become so. I would be looking at it in the context of I mean, you basically made the advert. You know, it's like even in that one lyric. You know,
it's kind. Thanks. Oh my God, just a job in acting. You know, we take the marks and say our lines, and it's like, I don't think you can ever be sort of like snippy or sort of like snooty about that role's not good enough for me. You know, it's like you never know where the next one's coming from, Josh. No. You know what I mean? So like, my God, I got bills to pay, so it's whatever I can see.
And like what we spoke on voice messages now, you said work generates work as well, which I always try and relate to people, like when they sat here, and I try and think, and it's like that for me as well. So the more people I interview, or the more places I go and do like little documentaries and stuff, I always think like, I'm never going to say no, because like there's people have asked me, oh, can you try and do some videos and help us save the libraries and stuff? I'm like, I don't know anything about this, but then I'm like, oh, no, I'll put everything into it, I'll learn all about it, because you never know who's there, who's watching, who might then think, oh, he did a good job on that, he can come and do this video with me or whatever. So it's the same type of thing.
That's exactly, it's just like, you can never be too proud, can you? It's sort of like, and I suppose it must be so interesting, whoever's been sat in this chair has got a story to tell. And it'd be great, you could have had like Matt Damon here, but I'm sure you'd rather have Matt Damon here, but it's nice to have anybody, isn't it?
No, well, it depends.
Everyone's got a story to tell, and do you know what I mean? And I guess, like if, I got mates with tradesmen, and I can't imagine them sort of like saying, oh yeah, but I wouldn't go and do a job in that house. It's like, wow, he's like, I want the money. So it's like,
exactly, it's the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, oh my God, I would never be too like snobby or snooty to do anything. It's like, I love acting. I've done student films last year. A lovely ex-student, Andrew Creek, who now has got his own little production company, and he directs, and he's given opportunities for young actors.
Yeah, that's amazing.
At St Kenneth to go and actually perform, to actually make a short film. Oh man, jumped at the opportunity to do that, and it's. And I think, again, like you say, Josh, you probably interview anyone because you love it. Do you know what I mean? Because you love doing what you do. You love your job. And it's like, I want to listen to someone's story and find out.
I prefer you over Matt Damon. Anyway.
He's more expensive, mate.
What's your future plans?
Future plans for me, Josh. So, again, really lucky talking about, God, just work, generating work, and how it's a massive game of chance. Steve Spears and Ruth Jones have written a new sitcom, which is called Better Later. It's an amazing, it's a beautiful script that Steve and Ruth have written together. And we've got I'm just in episode 1. It's got a little part in episode 1, and we have the table reading, the read through on Monday, and then I think I've got a costume fitting on Friday, and then I think we start the following week. So that's next for me, and then I believe shooting on the 22nd for series 3 of Mammoth.
Yeah,
so that's next to me, Josh. So really lucky that I've got a nice summer ahead of me of work. So that's and the future, I guess, Josh, in broader terms, is just hopefully to keep on having opportunities.
See what it takes you, isn't it?
Yeah, see what I live. You know what I mean?
John, thank you so much.
Oh, sorry. Thanks so much for coming on. No, an absolute pleasure, mate.
No. And you said about your future plans. Obviously, I wish you all the best. But really what I can tell you already is, through your acting or your teaching, you've made an impression on loads of people, and that's why I think there's going to be a lot of people watching this, John.
Josh, that's really, really kind, mate. That means the world. It really does, because
I'm only saying it because you're sat here. I'll be slagging him off. I'll be slagging him off to my missus now.
You shit. Tell you what, I can't believe it. They give him the job.
Remember to like if you like this video, and to subscribe to the channel as well. Nearly 8,000 followers on Facebook, and then hopefully now we can get to 1,000 on YouTube, and then I can hit the monetization mark. So, but was it merci pour regarder my channel?
Mon podcast. I think you say podcast.
So you say it. Well,
merci de regarder mon podcast. I think you can say podcast. I think you can. It's one of those like.
Yeah. And how would you say? Please, can you subscribe to my channel?
Merci de m'abonner à mon podcast, à ma chaîne. Yeah.
Oui. All right. Cheers. Nice one, mate.
Thank you, mate.